From Colorado State University, this is the Emmy Award-winning Campus Television. Owned and operated by the Colorado State Student Body, Campus Television, covering the news, sports, arts, and entertainment of campus.
How's it going, Ram fans? We're fired up for another night of CTV Sports. I'm Lucas Williams.
And I'm Hunter Strand, and we've got all the biggest CSU moments coming your way.
Colorado State Volleyball hits the court for spring scrimmages, getting a first look at a talented returning roster.
Ram softball battles back after a tough start, avoiding the sweep with a dominant Game 3 win.
CSU track and field splits up across the country, putting up big-time marks, including a top 10 national finish in the steeplechase.
All that and more right here on CTV Sports, which starts right now. After a short win streak, CSU's women's tennis fell to two Mountain West opponents over the weekend. First off, the Rams would face the Lobos of the University of New Mexico, where they would come close to a third straight win, losing the match overall 3-4. The Rams would win two of the three doubles matches due to performances from Lula Avarla, Sofia Sigg, Stella Morgan, and Logan Vokes. But in singles, the Rams faced trouble in Game 1. Avilar would go up against the Lobos' Bennett Van Butte in a thriller. Avilar would take the first match 6-4 before Van Butte would strike back in the second 7-5. This was the most critical match of the day, and knowing that if she lost this match, the day was lost as well. Avilar pushed through, taking the third set 6-2. However, the death knell would come for CSU during the final match of the day, when the Rams' Sofia Sigg would fall to Anna Verox in 3 matches. The Rams would next take the court against the Air Force Academy Falcons, where the blue and white showed no signs of weakness. Of the matches that were played to the conclusion, none followed to the Rams outside of doubles. In singles, the best showcase for how the day ended was during the match between CSU's Logan Vokes and Air Force Academy's Jalen Rhodes, where Rhodes was on fire beginning to end, winning the first match 6-4 and performing even better on the second 6-2. Of the Rams who competed their matches, only one matched Vokes' performance. CSU's women's tennis will now be facing the number 70th ranked Grand Canyon University Lopes on April 10th at 10 a.m. in Phoenix, Arizona.
Over the weekend, Colorado State and Colorado had a volleyball scrimmage down in Boulder. Because it was a scrimmage, there are no results or box score posted anywhere, but regardless, it was a great way to see where the team is at and where they need to improve. Taking a look at this team next fall, the CSU team is in a really good spot. The Rams were a really young team last year, so they're only losing 5 players due to graduation. But they have some big firepower coming back for another year. CSU was lucky enough to get back their top 5 leaders in kills back for another season in Haley Jamison, Brenna Rowland, Maria Brune, Eve Wilson, and Kakua Richards. Setting up that offense is assist leader Aaron DeBeck, who will be a key piece in the Rams' attack next season. The scrimmage provided a look at how the team is shaping up for next season. Colorado State has another exhibition match this Saturday in Salt Lake City, Utah. They will face off against Utah at 11 a.m. and then BYU at 1 p.m. Then following Saturday, they will have their final scrimmage of the spring season in Moby Arena against Denver University and CU once again.
Rams softball split their weekend series against the Rebels of University of Nevada, Las Vegas. First up, CSU took the field on Thursday, and it turned into a defensive battle. The scoring went back and forth throughout the game, with both teams trading runs. But in the bottom of the 7th, tied at 2 apiece, UNLV delivered a single to left field, securing a 3-2 win. That momentum carried into the next game, where the Rebels pulled away in dominant fashion. UNLV crushed to an 8-0 victory in 5 innings, powered by strong pitching and timely hitting, with their starter going the distance in a complete game shutout. In the final game of the series, CSU looked to avoid the sweep. The Rams started slow but held a 1-0 lead heading into the 4th, thanks to a strong performance in the circle that kept UNLV scoreless early. Then CSU offense exploded in the 4th inning, putting up 7 runs. The rally was highlighted by a 3-run home run to left field, extending the lead to 8-0, a deficit UNLV couldn't recover from. The Rams now sit at 18-19 overall with a 6-6 record in conference play. They'll be back in action tomorrow, April 8th, hosting the San Jose State Spartans at 11 a.m. at Ram Field here in Fort Collins. After the break, Lucas will have more on CSU track and field and how the Rams performed over the weekend.
Colorado Express lanes are a traffic lifesaver. But crossing the solid lines is unsafe and dangerous. Cross the line, pay the fine. Avoid a $75 fine. Access express lanes through the dashed lines only. Learn more at coloradoexpresslanes.com.
The CSU track and field teams split up across the country this weekend, competing in 3 different meets and putting up some big-time performances along the way. Distance runners kicked things off in the Bay Area at the Stanford Invitational and the Mike Finelli Track Classic. William and Mary transfer Catherine Garrison stole the show in the 3,000-meter steeplechase, posting a personal best time of 10 minutes and 3.94 seconds, which ranks 4th all-time in CSU history and 9th all-time in the nation this season. Freshman Amir Lacefield also impressed in her steeplechase debut, cracking the program's top 15 all-time with a time of 10 minutes and 33.03 seconds. On the men's side, Chris Henry recorded a personal best 13 minutes, 59.09 seconds in the 5,000-meter race, moving into 13th all-time in CSU history. And Ryan Shoemaker also posted a personal best of 14 minutes and 2.82 seconds, landing 15th all-time in the CSU record book. Back in Boulder, the Rams competed at the Jerry Quiller Classic, where the field events would steal the spotlight. The men's high jump squad swept the podium, led by Diarajai Shakrani, who cleared over 7 feet to win the event. Jesse Bemba finished second, clearing 6 feet and 11 inches, and Reese Travis took third with a mark of 6 feet 9 inches. On the track, Trenton Givens won the 110-meter hurdles in his outdoor debut, while Anna Wehrberg took first in the 400 meters, running a season best of 57.22 seconds. In women's discus, Claire Kovach delivered one of the top performances of the weekend. Her throw of 59.55 meters moves her to 6th all-time in CSU history and 5th in the NCAA this season. The Rams dominated discus overall, having all Rams finish 1st through 5th, showing off major depth in the event. The men's hammer throw also featured big performances. Adam Hellbaum led the way with a career-best 66.59 meters, moving him into 19th in the nation and 2nd in the conference. 2 more Rams in Leonardo Ramos and Kyle Bigley would follow behind Hellbaum to round out the podium. It was a statement weekend for the Colorado State track and field as they continue building momentum this season. The Rams prepare themselves for another split trip weekend as the runners will compete in the Brian Clay Multis in Azul, California, and the throwers will stay back in Colorado, competing in the Kit Mayer Classic at Colorado School of Mines in Golden, Colorado.
Colorado State football now has 2 spring scrimmages in the books, and while the quarterback competition is still wide open, one player is starting to make a serious impression. This past weekend gave the Rams a much clearer look at what this team stands offensively, and transfer quarterback Haas Haney made sure his presence was felt. Haney put together one of the most complete performances of the day, throwing for multiple touchdowns and showing command of the offense from start to finish. He was sharp in his reads, getting the ball out on time and consistently finding his receivers in the end zone. But what really stood out wasn't just the numbers, it was how he looked doing it. Haney played with a level of poise that's not always expected this early in a tough quarterback competition. He stayed composed under pressure, stepping up in the pocket instead of drifting and keeping his eyes downfield. And when nothing was there, he didn't panic. Haney showed he can be a dual threat when needed, tucking the ball and picking up yards with his legs to extend drives. It's that combination of patience, awareness, and athleticism that adds another layer to his game and makes him a difficult player to play against. Just as important as the physical tools is the mindset, and that's something Haney has been consistent about since he came to CSU.
Yeah, first you got to set the standard and what the expectations are, which is, bust your butt every play, no matter the outcome, and go full speed and, do your job. And if you do your job and everybody does their job, the execution is going to be there. So really just set the standard on what we expect from the players, and then you get a certain amount of reps over time, and things are going to start clicking, and the whole offense is going to start firing on all cylinders. And we're almost there. We still got a lot to work on, but I've been pleased with what we've been able to do. So, as you've gone throughout the past 3 weeks of spring ball, you kind of figure out what receivers like, or where they want the ball in a go ball, whether it's a back shoulder or over shoulder or up top. Just getting a feel for what I like and what I want to see from them, and what they want to see from me in terms of what kind of balls they want me to throw. So just getting on the same page and communicating.
That focus on daily improvement is something head coach Jim Mora says he's seeing from the entire team. From scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2, Mora has pointed out clearly execution, better timing between quarterbacks and receivers, and a stronger overall sense of rhythm on both sides of the ball.
We made a lot of progress through this spring. I thought it showed up today. Of course, a ton of things to work on, but it was a highly competitive practice. We got a lot of situational work in. You go back in the film always, and you look at the execution, the technique, but in terms of energy and the competitiveness, it was obvious to me that we made strides. We were more crisp in our operation. Getting lined up, substitution, communication. I thought we had more energy on defense running to the ball. So those are, and I thought we were more competitive today than we were last week. And that's what we have to be, highly competitive in everything we do, even if it's tackling. It's just got to be hyper competitive.
Still, the competition is far from decided. There's still plenty of time left in spring ball, more reps to be earned, and more opportunities for every player on the field to prove themselves. The next opportunity to see it all unfold comes this weekend, as Colorado State hosts its Spring Spotlight game this Saturday, April 11th at 10:30 a.m. in Canvas Stadium, and we hope to see you guys there. Sit tight, Rams, because after the break, we have an exciting track story and a men's basketball transfer portal update.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back from the break, Rams. I had the chance to catch up with star sprinter Sofia Sigg, who is a junior at Bedford High School. Here's more on her story.
Sofia Sigg is one of the rising stars for sprinting in the state of Colorado. Here are her thoughts on her race this past weekend.
To break a minute, and I came here and I was just kind of mentally preparing myself since it was the only event I'm running today, and I just did a good warm-up and I just got myself mentally prepared and my body prepared, and I just tried to do the most I could do with kind of coming off of an injury.
Sofia was able to grab a second-place medal last year in the 100-meter dash at the state championships, which is rare considering she is only a sophomore.
I mean, I think I kind of shocked myself going against some really good competition, and it definitely felt really good and kind of boosted, made my confidence go up too, and yeah, it was really, really good.
With Sofia grabbing second last year in the 100-meter, she is now ranked #1 going into states. Here's how she doesn't let the pressure get to her.
For this year, I kind of just want to keep improving and setting new PRs, because I think since I was ranked first coming into state, kind of put a lot of pressure on me, and I think just relaxing and trying to get new PRs and still improving.
Sofia has struggled with a quad injury so far this season. Here's how she keeps a positive mindset going into races.
I think just mainly doing whatever I can do to prevent or just help push through and keep injuries away in the future, I guess, because every year so far I've kind of had the same injuries with strains and stuff, and just knowing how I can overcome that and just preparing my body to do more.
Sofia is now a junior in high school and has some college coaches reaching out. But the more important thing is improving this next year and a half.
Right now I'm also kind of just looking on improving and seeing what I can do. I have been looking at a couple colleges, but I think I really want to see how far I can get this season and then start deciding more where I want to go.
The track and field state championships are May 14th through 16th. Expect Sofia to be in the mix for some titles. For CTV Sports, I'm Hunter Strand.
The Colorado State Rams men's basketball team is starting to take shape for next season, with key returners staying and one notable transfer heading out. Starting with sophomore forward Kyle Jorgensen, who is set to return. Jorgensen averaged 11.5 points per game last season, which was good for the second most on the team. The hometown kid Charlie Dortch will also be back for another year. The sophomore only saw play in 5 games this year, but is eyeing an increased role for the upcoming season. However, junior guard Brandon Rechsteiner will not be returning to Fort Collins. Rechsteiner transferred from Virginia Tech last year and wound up leading the Rams in points per game with 12. Rechsteiner announced via Instagram that he intends to enter the transfer portal. But back on the bright side, Rashawn Bemba is set to stay with the program. This will mark Bemba's 4th straight year with CSU, which is a rare sighting in the current world of college sports. Despite a reduced role last year due to injury and the emergence of Kerry Booth, Bemba should still be a star player for the Rams next season. All right, Hunter, tell me, out of those players, who are you most excited to see come back next year?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Kyle Jorgensen. I mean, the guy was our number one when he was healthy. I know he only averaged 11.5 per game, but everybody knows he was our number one, so it's good to have him back.
Definitely. All right, Hunter's got 3 more players and how they're shaping the future of this team.
Yeah, the first player is the guy who transferred here last year. It's Kerry Booth. He transferred from Illinois last year and will be returning for next year, which is great news for the Rams. The second player I want to bring up is Jace Butler, who's returning as well. Butler averaged 9.3 points per game and shot 41% from 3. And finally, the last player returning is a big one for the Rams, Josh Pasquarelli, who averaged 10.2 points per game and had a big start to last year's season, having 26 against Boulder and 28 against UCF. Lucas, who are we thinking is the best guy returning on this list?
I mean, it's got to be Kerry Booth. We saw his emergence in the second half of the season. If CSU can solidify that 5 spot and have a solid 7-footer, I mean almost 7-footer, the rest of the season, they're going to be in a very good spot next season.
I mean, yeah, for a guy that transferred last year from Illinois, you kind of expect him to maybe transfer for another year, but him staying loyal to CSU is a huge thing for us. So don't go anywhere, Rams. After the break, me and Lucas will give you our Colorado Athletes of the Week.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Welcome back from the break, Ram fans. We are back with our weekly segment of Colorado Athlete of the Week. Let's get into it. All right, my athlete worthy of the spotlight this week is Jace Newbill. Me and Hunter went out to their meet.
Sir.
We were shooting some track. He got his package together. And this kid, Jace, he's committed to CSU, one of the best high jumpers in Colorado, and it proved true. I mean, he got first place, and you could tell when he was jumping, like, he was in a league of his own. He was just different.
Yeah, I mean, this kid was a dog. I mean, this event was supposed to start at 12:30. He didn't compete till 2 hours later because I had to let everyone else jump before they got to his height. So this kid's got that aura to him. He's got that swag to him.
He does have that aura to him. I can't confirm.
I'm glad he's coming here to CSU. And then my athlete, we're going to go back to track as well, is Adam Hellbaum from CSU Track and Field. Adam Hellbaum, he got the 19th ranking in the national for the hammer throw. So this guy's a dog. I watched this guy last week, and this guy's he's got that aura about him too. He's always celebrating after big throws. I like guys in track and field that are really like being explosive and just like talking about track, because a lot of people don't talk about track. A lot of people think it's not an exciting sport to watch, but I'm telling you, if you watch these guys, they got that aura about them. They're exciting. So.
Exactly, and that 66.59 meter throw, that's a career best. So he just keeps getting better. He's not even at his peak yet. It's just better, better, better week after week.
Kid's only a sophomore.
All right, well, that's all we've got for you tonight, Rams. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.